first of all, considering the match, considering, let's say, the overall result, I don't think there is anything critical in giving, let's say, second set of gold medals to another team. I don't think I have anything against this in general. Now, this is against sports rules, of course. This is very different. So if you call your event the Olympiad, yeah, of course there is like some Olympic principles, like it's better. Like the first thing is not to win. The first thing is to participate. But I mean, here I think it's a little bit different because nowadays Olympiad is more about sport. Of course, all kind of Olympic games. They should unite people. They shouldn't divide. They should unite. It shouldn't be like any scandals, it shouldn't be anything bad, anything sad. I think it should be, let's say, celebration of chess. Yeah, celebration of as many of Indian guys like to say, sportsmanship. Yeah. So let's put it that way. So I mean, in general, I don't see anything critical in the decision. What do I see? It's completely wrong. First thing first, the Armenia case. During the tournament, there were I think pretty few cases, but more of them, of course, were more of those cases happened during group stage, and all those disconnections, all those connection problems were never solved in favor of players. I surely think that there should be some kind of a time bank, like 10 minutes, to reconnect and continue the game from the moment it has been postponed. And I don't think it's really a good idea to punish for something you are not responsible for. So, for example, I don't know, let's say somewhere in between, not at the server, not at your provider, not at your home, something happens and you are disconnected, and this is surely not your fault, and you shouldn't suffer. It doesn't really matter if it's like a group stage or a quarterfinal or a final. But since FIDE decided to, let's say, punish Armenian team not to accept their, I would say, rightful claim for replaying the game from the moment it started, it was postponed. I really think this strategy should be the same for all the cases, and I don't see a really big difference. It's like I don't know. In general, what you guys are trying to claim is that, let's say, if one person suffered or it was like one problem for one man, it's nothing. And if like it was, let's say, more global in several countries, it's already a reason. I don't think it's a good point. I think everyone should be equal. So that's why I think the same should apply to Russia as well. In the case, let's say, if we would be disconnected, of course we would file an appeal. But I really think FIDE should have some good reasons to reject it. I think in general all because the Armenian case. Funny part is that India actually participated in both cases, like with Armenia, and in the finals. And it was like from the two different sides, and both times, let's say, the decision was this or that way. Both times the decision was in the favor of Indian team. Once again, I don't have anything against Indian team. I really like the way chess is being developed there, but I don't think we should mix up those things. Like, okay, of course, first of all, it's great. Chess is so popular nowadays and is developed that quickly. But it shouldn't affect another guys, another teams, another players, and it shouldn't affect any let's say, official decisions. For me, it's a little bit weird that FIDE official Sutovsky, he's, let's say, he can barely hold himself, and he's happily posts something like, "Oh, whoa, that's so brilliant. I really like Indian streams, like 15,000 viewers same times. This is so wonderful." And then he's like the first person to join the stream to explain the situation. So it's let's say it also describes him personally, but in general I also think this is unacceptable for an official FIDE who should be absolutely neutral. So in that case, I think a good example is Dvorkovich, who decided to step away from the appeals committee. And to leave the decision for remaining 2 members of the appeals committee. It was another problem that we didn't have a substitute there. Thank you, Evgeny, for subscribing. Yeah. So, back then. So the first thing, yeah, is the Armenian case. I think in general, you can, let's say, provide like numerous, I don't know, articles about the global internet collapse and so on. But I don't think it really matters here, because to get disconnected, you don't need a global internet collapse. You just need some small, I don't know, it should be like maybe in one country like Armenia, or maybe Russia, or maybe India. So, I mean, you guys just imagine if on this picture with global internet collapse, we have only India covered. And what you do then? So it's like saying that, okay, one country is better than another one, and okay, your disconnection is rightful and your disconnection is not rightful, and you're responsible for this and you are not responsible for that. And okay, this is completely unfair. I think everyone should be equal. I mean, everyone should be equal. And then the level of support, I mean, of course it's good so many people are so supportive towards the Indian team and so on, but it should never affect any sort of decisions. And in that case, I have a strong feeling that this was one of the, let's say, big, I don't know how to say it. I think it was really some kind of influence towards the final decision that, okay, Indian fans are so supportive and so on, and let's be generous and, I don't know, let's show some nobleness for this time. But the question is really serious for me. Why wouldn't you do the same towards Armenian team? Yeah, and also I find the sporting principle is very important. So this shouldn't be like 2 winners in one event, unless they show absolutely equal results. So technically, I think the games should have been resumed from the moment it was stopped. But also, you have to make sure that no one analyzed the position and so on. And the problem is that FIDE doesn't have, let's say, some strict rules for this case. Then obviously it's not the player's fault. Players are presented on Zoom and so on, and let's say another pages are working and so on. And the problem, it takes like 1 hour. It takes 1 hour or more. And if it would be like a swift decision, like, I mean, okay, you resume the games with the same time, let's say, okay, those who disconnected are penalized in some way, so maybe their opponents are awarded with some extra time. So I don't know, some different options some different decisions can be suggested. But I think it's much more fair than replay the games completely from the move 1. Because, I mean, in general, speaking about those 2 games of Divya and Nihal, I think actually Sepenga had a pretty good chances to win even in the final position, because, I mean, here, let's say, logical move 97 is losing after rook e1, and you have to see like knight b4, rook d8, bishop c6, and here king f6. I mean, I'm not quite sure anyone has to find this, like, let's say on 10 seconds or on 30 seconds even. And speaking about another game, yeah, of course White was pressing there, but I mean, overall it was far from the mating attack, and it was like I'm sure it was a lot of play, no material advantage, and since it was obvious some trouble for at least for White, it wasn't clear who is going to be victorious. And you guys, when you see computer evaluations, don't forget this means literally nothing unless you're a cheater. So, I mean, okay, if you have access during the game to those evaluations, you're good, but this is unfair. And in general, okay, you can feel you are better or you are worse or so on, but no one plays like a computer, and I'm pretty sure like 10 mistakes are probably inevitable during the time trouble, especially mutual time trouble. So, I mean, it's very funny to read, like, okay, this was a draw, this was a win. I mean, okay, it was nothing. It was like 2 games going, and it could end in either way, basically. But of course, like, okay, here it's more obvious, and the second game is more obvious. Okay, if Black finds this, maybe Black is alright. If Black is not going to find this, Black is losing. And in the second game, alright, there is some good attacking chances for white, but was never like final, let's say, final attacker or something like mate into. Yeah, so I mean, what I really dislike is, basically the quantity of years. Yeah, the total number there is really matters here. And well, it's good to be supportive, and it's good to root for your own team, for your own country. But I don't think it should let's say, interact in some bad way with other guys and other players. And once again, I'm not really, I don't really feel bad. So I really think like if the match would be continued, or if it would be no disconnection, I would think that Goryachkina would win anyway, because when I finished my game against Vichy, I felt like, I think it was like 3 draws by that moment. Dubov drew, Kostyniuk drew against Harika, Dubov drew against Vidit, and I drew against Vichy. And I saw Goryachkina was clearly pressing, Yesipenko was clearly placing, and I mean, Shuvalova was surely in trouble. But it was nothing like the final the final part of the game. It was still some play. And I had a feeling like, okay, either we draw the match or we win it +1. It was my feeling. I mean, without any. I mean, I'm not trying to confuse you or something. I mean, that's honestly that what I saw. Let's say when I checked those games, and then okay, I was really very surprised, and I saw like it's 2 wins for us, and okay, it was obvious for me it was some connection problem. But in general, I don't like the whole situation, and I think it's the worst possible way to win the match after your opponent disconnects, especially if their score is not so obvious, and there is still some fight. But in general, it would be, I don't know, I would call it some kind of a free roll for Russian team at the moment the disconnection happened. So it was like, I mean, for me it was like more or less clear that Goryachkina is winning. And once again, and on the rest 2 boards, I felt like we are more or less, let's say, capable of scoring at least 1 point. So that's it. So in general, of course, I'm very glad for all teams who managed to show some good chess there. But let's say, as a neutral, neutral fan, as some chess amateur, I would even think this decision might be fair. Like, so no one is, let's say, offended. No one really suffers from those disconnections. But like there are like two moments. First of all, is Armenia case. I think we shouldn't seek some difference between this. I think it's basically the same. The only problem is it was like, let's say one country suffered, or let's say several countries suffered. It doesn't really matter. The situation is the same. I also spoke to some guys from chess.com stuff, and I think they also say that it was like more or less the similar situation. And I don't think we should take 2 different decisions within 3 days. This is just bad. This is shameful, very shameful towards Armenia. I mean, of course, some guys are happier right now, and let's say the number of those guys is really high. But of course, as a player, I'm not happy with this decision. I would like the games to be either replayed or postponed or continued from the moment they stopped. But okay, what done is done, and let's not forget the main idea of this event is, let's say, unite the chess world, at least online, since the real Olympiad is not available. But in general, I mean, of course, it's a very, I would say it's a bitter end, no matter, let's say, what would be the FIDE decision. It's a very bitter end that such I would say an expected situation, because you cannot really hold a huge online event without some serious number of disconnections. This bitter end really comes, and I'm really unhappy about it. So I mean, of course, it was a good fight. It was a very close match, especially the first match. But the second match, I really think, I mean, seriously, I think it was in our favor, and in general, it would likely end in +1 or maybe equal. But okay, we never know since we didn't have a chance. So I don't like this structure, like if something, then something. Yeah. Yeah, we never know, but I don't think it's the way to determine a winner. Like to provide the second set of gold medals. I think it's a little bit unfair to, okay, first of all to Armenia, secondly to us, I think, and also to some other teams who, you know, could also, let's say, go to finals and face a similar situation. Yeah, so in general, this shouldn't be like this, and I hope the situation is not going to repeat. So in general, that's it. I don't want to really criticize. I was really disappointed by a few people, more than by the FIDE decision. I don't think Indian fans would understand me if I say so, but I said this before in Russian. I didn't really like the Vichy tweet, like "We are champions." I think as one of the finest players and one of the overall, I would say, greatest and most respectful and most respected chess champions other, let's say, past years or maybe of all times. I don't really think you are going to, let's say, make some statements. I understand. I mean, okay, of course, it's a big. I think it's a big thing for Indian chess overall, and of course, like Vichy is the face and the soul of Indian chess. But I mean, anyway, you know, if I was, let's say, in his shoes, I don't think I would say something like this. Yeah, because in general. Yeah, I can agree on that. India could probably save the match and make it through to the Armageddon, which is clearly a lottery. But you know, I don't see anything to celebrate here from Russian side or from Indian side. This is a little bit annoying, and I really didn't expect, let's say, such kind of tweet from Vichy. But I mean, maybe I'm not, let's say, in the right place to judge. But this really saddened me. Let's say this kind of thinking. So that's it. I mean, okay, from Indian supporters, of course, it's a great achievement, and I don't want to. Once again, I don't want to criticize, but in general, I feel like there is no. I mean, especially in the finals. I mean, the whole tournament was great for India, of course, since you made it to the finals. But. You know, the final day is really nothing to celebrate for known side. Yeah, for Russia or for India, it's just a very sad end to a really good and interesting and challenging event, I would say. So I think that's it. Yeah. Also, I really like the amount of guys who are coming and speaking and judging about the sportsmanship. And giving some bold evaluations about, about the result, about evaluations of positions, like this was winning, this was a draw, he would win, he would lose, and so on. I mean, this is just funny, and you guys don't hesitate to to continue this. I really enjoy reading such stuff. It's funny. Yeah, so the tournament, is unfinished. So the sporting part is bad. The Armenian case is bad, combined with the finals. So this is really sad and to a very good event overall. But of course, I really have to say that I think teams from Poland, India, and USA, especially USA, who played in a little bit semi-optimal roster, I would say, they really showed some good chess, and I think it was really big struggle for us, and I won't call it like we were close to be eliminated anywhere, but I think it could easily be decided on Armageddon or something. Yeah, and it would be less clear for us, but anyway, for Russian team it was a very, very difficult event, and I also want to thank all my teammates who worked really hard, and our coaches, let's say coaching team, our team captain Motilov, and also our coaches like Ryzantsev, Potkin, Rublevsky, and Nair. Alright guys, I hope I a little bit clarified. So once again, I'm happy the whole event is now over. I'm not really happy with some personalities. Like some of this is new for me, some of this is not new. Yeah, but okay. Right, guys. So I think that's it for now. I think the English part is over. So thank you for listening. Hope I managed to clarify the situation a little bit. Yesterday, I think I would be too harsh and too critical because, yesterday I was completely pissed with the decision. We even had a joke like half an hour before the FIDE decision. Like, all right, let's give them another gold medals, or at least they don't protest anymore. And the moment it turned out this is not a joke, we were completely shocked. Like, literally, I mean, this was like, what the hell is going on? But technically, it's maybe not a bad decision. Once again, let's not forget about the Olympiad or the Olympic spirit and so on. But we shouldn't mix up the sporting part and, let's say, the show part. So for the show, okay, the whole system is good, but maybe the decision is good to make it a better show. But if we take the Olympiad as a sporting event, all those things are really poor.